Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV video. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make millions of gil in the Shadowbringers expansion. Now before we continue with this video, if you guys want early access to my items list as well as get these videos a day early, consider becoming a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, or support me on Ko-Fi. The links will be in the description down below. Now, Shadowbringers has the second most lucrative area to make gil on, and that is the Bojzan Southern Front, completing the 24-man raid of Evilise, while also doing Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty main story quest will unlock Bojzan in Gugane. So my first retainer here has 6.1 million gil, and that is from Bojzan itself. Now the Southern Front is the most lucrative because you have access to these runner secrets, which are basically upgrades to the Bojzan gear. So the headpiece, the handpiece, and the feet piece, you need 500 bronze coins, which is 5 Castrum Lacus Latori runs. 10 runs will give you a body and the legs. So these suckers go from 800,000 gil. So we have the hands, which was 853,000 that I sold, and the headpiece I sold for 807,000. They also can drop from the lockboxes after the Adremalek boss. The lockboxes from doing fates or the duels, which gives you 99 for completing, can give you bardings, the hairstyle, and also the Gabriel mount, which also can be gotten through the Moogle Tombstone event that is currently going on. But these are extremely rare to find. But they go for pretty low on the market board because a lot of people already know how to cheese the duels. You also can get the bardings like the Susanoo, Shinryu, and of course Tsukiyomi's. And of course you get glamour as well. If you're lucky enough, you also can get some jet black and pure white dye. So from May 11th all the way up to the 15th, I made 6.1 million gil. Speaking of dyes, I managed to make 3.2. Just like before, dyes are very lucrative. Now, gunmetal black is also from the Ishgard restoration, which was originally released during Shadowbringers. So, again, I've sold nothing but jet black or gunmetal black dye. Jet black and pure white, like I said, can come from the lockboxes or the adventure coffers. Dark purple and metallic dyes also come from there as well, but everything here was from gunmetal black. And of course I can go even further back, but unfortunately it only goes back 6 days or so. So I can't show you any further before that. But gunmetal black still sells quite nicely. If you need help with the Ishgard restoration farming, I do have videos about that. This one here, I basically sold the actions from Bojzan. Even though they are slow sellers, I still managed to get some out of it. And the zoner maps from Shadowbringers, which will, of course, fluctuate depending on how many people buy them. So here one I sold for 77,000. Here's one for 20,000. So on and so forth. So this was back from May 1st all the way up to the 15th. I accidentally got the Gazelle one by mistake, but I'm adding that in as well. And retainer Fantasias came from the adventure. So all this stuff was from the fragments. Also for fragments and stuff like that, the Bojzan video also will help you farm those as well. But that's how much money I made from those. And also, to make sure that I pad this video, I also started selling crystals and clusters again, which, as you can see, no matter what expansion you're in, they will always sell. I would avoid selling ice clusters, but crystals do just fine. Lightning, water, fire, and wind are probably the best ones I would say to sell, but make sure that you have enough for Dawn Trail. I know that I'm going to get a hell of a lot more from ethereal reduction, so I wasn't too, worried about losing my stock. But definitely selling all these here can help. I go with stacks of 500 because I think that's more lucrative in my opinion. But if you want to go up to 1,000, be my guest. But try to keep the prices, with everybody else. So combined all this together, I made over 12 million gil. Now, even though this has been reduced because the coffee biscuit fiasco, levequest and shadowbringers can also be done, which I think you should be able to make almost a million gil with 100 allowances. So let's head over to the crystarium. So here we are in the crystarium near the crystalline mean. Now, the coffee biscuit fiasco of Shadowbringers was basically me, Ash10, and another bunch of YouTubers made videos about getting gil from levequests, which is the coffee biscuits, and Square Enix got a whiff of that and realized that there was too much gil making from this, so they nerfed the triple turn-in in gil, but then took away triple turn-ins in Endwalker. Ultimately, what they should have done was nerf the gil, but keep triple turn-ins. So for Culinarian, you'll be making a cookie for your troubles. Now this is going to give you less than 2,000 gil, but maybe also 2,000 gil depending. But because it's a triple turn-in, you get triple the gil. Now, because I was doing this in Endwalker, ultimately what you would do would use the trained eye, which is 100% high quality, and then use a groundwork to complete the item. But because you're doing this in Shadowbringers, you won't be able to do the coffee biscuits with this combination. So you're going to have to come up with your own rotation for that. And then you ultimately pass it in. So you need to make, I think it was like 900 cookies just to get to 100 leap quests. Just like that. So we made 2,623 times, but we also got water crystals as well, which is nice. So 2, 4, 6, 7, so around 7,000-ish gil. Now, the gil that I made from this is in my free company chest, which I did around 30 leave quests. So we're gonna head over to my free company, and I'll show you guys how much gil I made just all doing 30 of these leave quests. So in my FC chest, I have 265,662 gil. Now that is assuming that an average of 2620 gil is being made, which is going to be 7,860 times 100 leave quests. That's 786,000 gil. Now that is a horrible decline from like I think 10 million gil that we made back in Shadowbringers. But because allowances cap at 100 and you get them 6 per day, and if you cap over 100 allowances, as you can see at the bottom at 99, you lose allowances, and basically you're losing gil until you get to Endwalker, where then you can make more gil. So it's better to use them than to lose them. In order to make the coffee biscuits, you need garden beet sugar, which is from garden beets, coffee beans, and upland wheat flour with fire and water crystals, but you can get them back through the leave quests. So you guys can be able to recycle these if you're lucky. Also, you can get rice for a reward as well, which is unfortunate. Or coffee beans. But utilize them while you can. Now, in order to get to the southern front, talk to Kayaten and Kugane next to the free company chest to get the quest, and then come to the Doman Enclave either by taking the main aetherite or by talking to the airship pilot at the bay and take to the Gangos. Like I said, you have an instance you have to go through in order to get to the southern front. Talk to this gentleman right here to get into the southern front. And also you must increase your resistance rank before getting access to the Castrum Lacus Latore, which is currently up at the moment. This is going to appear periodically, and the more critical engagements and duels that you do, the faster the cooldown for this will appear. Now, assuming you get all the prisoners saved, you get 500 coins every 5 runs. Talk to the supplier here after finishing the story in the southern front. 14 coins for the head, hands, and feet, and then 28 for the body and legs. 500 for the head, hands, and feet, runners like I showed you, and 999 for the body and legs. 10 runs with all the prisoners saved to get the body and legs. Otherwise, you're going to get the rest of the coins from the fates or the duels. And then also you can augment your gear if you like for that +1 haste for the head, hands, and feet, and the body is +2. Now, during certain fates, you'll get notes, which you get all of them, you get the mount, but duplicates pass into the historian for the more locked boxes, just like in Eureka. You get the loot, and then of course the lockbox smith will unlock them for you. The loot has been horribly nerfed since Eureka, so you're most likely to get those stupid prisms. The quartermaster, if you're lucky enough to get bojzan clusters from the Magitech monsters, can give you your actions. Otherwise, killing enemies and of course doing the cash room will get you these as well. And if you get 180, you can sell the Construct 14 mount, the one that you see in the Evilise raid and of course on the field. These are pretty hard to sell, so honestly I probably wouldn't sell them unless you're completely lucky. You also have hairstyles as well, some emotes, and of course music and other stuff like that. I would definitely focus on getting your rider maps for faster mount speed. Alright, but those are the things that you guys need to know about in order to get the items that I showed you earlier. Again, check out my guide on how to make gil from the southern front alone for better advice on getting the coins and the like. So here in the restoration, which is unlocked back in Heavensward now, but originally it was in Shadowbringers, the script exchange, materials, grade 7 gather materia is going to be useful because with gather gear, some of the melt slots have low thresholds, so having grade 7 can come in handy. And as for the dye, gunmetal black is 500 scripts. In Endwalker, the Island Sanctuary can get these as well, but right now the Ishgard restoration is your best bet. If you want something lesser, as less gil but less scripts, ruby red dye also helps as well. The other thing is the mounts. The Euphidi horn is a part of the Moogle event this time around, but the Antelope Doe, the Gazelle, and the Ram mount can go for a lot of gil. And of course you also have emotes and stuff like that, but kind of stick to the dye and of course the mounts. There are fates inside here which you also can get tokens, or you guys can get presents, can also have these items as well. With those tokens, you come in here, you also can pass in 4 of these tokens for a dye and also materia. Do not get the stag horn because these are dirt cheap, and the coffers unfortunately are also garbage. So stick to the dyes and the materia if you're using those tokens. So for your maps, in Lakeland right across from Fort Job, as a miner, you guys can get your map. Now, if the map is hidden, use Luck of the Mountaineer or Pioneer depending on what you're using. I already have my map already. Under timers, you can see right here. Mine's going to be up another 2 hours, and you get one every 18 hours or once per day. So that will pop up anything that's hidden in your node. If not, you'll get a prompt. If you get a glider, exit, and then go to the next node and try again until the Zonura pops up. So in Wineport, the quest is going to be right about here. Treasure and Tribulations will be the quest. You don't really have to be a gatherer to unlock that, because you can get maps off the market board, but if you want to gather yourself, you're going to need a botanist, miner, or a fisher. But with fisher, you're going to be using what is called snagging, and certain fish holes at certain levels will give you those maps, but you cannot choose which map you get. Alright, so I took all the gil out of my retainers, and obviously my free company chest. So now I have 12,854,548 gil. Now, if you guys want to pad that even further, selling the duck bones or any of the 360 gil items from your Grand Company, you can make even more gil. Every 90,000 Grand Company seals, which is the max right now, you get 54,000 gil. So if I sell what I have now for 250,000, I have 13,104,748 gil as a total. Most people would say do Alexander Eyes of the Creator, which is the easiest and fastest one, the maximum reward, which can take you about a minute 25, at least on my samurai, at 665 pound level, but at level 100, this should be much faster. But most people swear by that. So next is going to be the Endwalker guide for making gil. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out before Dawn Trail because that's coming out within about, I think, 5 weeks. Unless there's a delay, which I think there will be. But if it is not going to be enough time, I will do it after Dawn Trail releases. Alright guys, so I will see you guys in the next one, and good luck selling on your server. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV content and help with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want to support my channel even further, consider becoming a YouTube member, Patreon supporter, or help me on Ko-Fi. The links for those will be in the description down below, as well as my Discord. I also want to give a thanks to all my YouTube members, Patreon supporters, and Ko-Fi members, and an extra special shout out to the members on screen. So until next time, may you forever walk in the glorious light of Lord Bahamut, and always remember to keep forging ahead. Take care.